Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland and this is Let Me Bore You to Sleep. And I'm making a video, like an actual proper video where I'm recording myself as well as recording the audio on my recording studio thing, which means I think it's the first time I've ever done this, I think. So hopefully at the end of it I'll have the audio like normal, that I'll upload those to Spreaker, SoundCloud, my website and all that stuff. But I will also edit it on a video so that I use the sound from the recording thing edit it onto the video so that it should hopefully match up, but it might not, and it doesn't really matter. Worst case scenario is it doesn't work, but I still just upload the audio like normal. So this thing here down, if you're watching, is the microphone. It's literally just, this is actually the pop filter and the microphone's just there. So I'm about that far away, about 2 penis lengths away from the microphone. Anyway, welcome to jasonnewland.com. I think I said that. My name's Jason Newland and this, I've already said all that, haven't I? I've thrown myself off because I think I have videoed myself making a Let Me Bore You to Sleep session, but this is the first time I've done it for a while and never really attempted to make it look okay. I say look okay, but I'm on here and it's what you got here is a baldy man. So I shaved my head, if you can see, and even shaved my beard off, and not even wearing glasses. So hey, although I can, but they're over, actually I don't know where they are because I can't see where they are. They're somewhere. I've been trying to, the boring starts now, but I'm starting the boring part, although you may think I've already started it. If there is any background humming, it's just my laptop, it's just there. But I want to keep a track of the time because there's a film I want to watch at 11:15 and it's 10:10. So I'm going to not be doing a long session, so a long recording. So this will be about half hour maybe. So hopefully my dream of all dreams is that it will be a good video, you know, clear picture, although I think the less clear the picture is the better really, for, you know, regarding my face, but there you go. So clear picture and a clear audio, which is a good sound. And then maybe I can start looking at doing more videos again, but with proper decent quality sound. I'm using the iPhone for the video, although I do have a camera which I'm going to be looking to use as well, but that will be more for the shorter videos. But it's a little, I don't know, it's a bit, it seems like the camera on the iPhone is possibly better than the actual camera picture, which is a little bit weird. I didn't think that would happen. Had to use a lot of moisturizer because, you know, because I had a beard, I've had a beard for years and years and years. I rarely shave. I didn't do a wet shave like a, you know, skin, or not, how am I explain it? It is on my skin. But, you know, I used an electric razor, like a beard shaver, to get my hair down to pretty much nothing, and also for my beard. But I didn't wet shave, so I sort of I had to moisturize it, because if you wet shave, it gets any sort of excess dry skin off. Not that I'm flaking or anything like that. I'm not like I haven't got like chin dandruff, but it's still, you know, I do like to moisturize. So it's about all I do. That's my grooming technique. When I say grooming, I'm talking face, you know, that you know, not Jimmy Savile kind. So this is just going to be me talking, and the whole idea is only listen to me if you can close your eyes, or if it's safe to close your eyes, because the whole idea is for me to just be boring. That is the point. That is the main objective of this. And I might end up having to have the microphone much closer to me, but I just bashed it. But I'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to worry too much, because even though this is probably, I don't know how many of these Let Me Bore You to Sleep sessions I've done, quite a few. This is kind of like the first in the new generation of Let Me Bore You to Sleep, where I'm actually on camera, which would be a bit weird, because sometimes I do find myself laughing at what I say, so you don't get to see that. Sometimes I do have to like bite my finger, and occasionally I've coughed when I wasn't really coughing, but I was just trying to, because I've just said something silly that's tickled me. That happens occasionally. I don't mean to, but, and it's weird because the whole idea of this is just to bore you, and then, you know, you're asleep, you're all like, ugh. And then I start making weird noises, which is not good. So at least you can see me on camera and see that I'm not doing anything too weird. But it's my hands. So sometimes these sessions, by the way, the boring has started. I started it at the beginning. I know we're only like 6-8 minutes in, but the boringness starts right at the start, right at the beginning. There's no real, there's an introduction, but it's boring. It's the same stuff every time you listen to any of my recordings. I would start with hello, welcome to jasonnewland.com. It used to be hello, welcome to www.jasonnewland.com. And maybe once it used to be hello, welcome to woo.jasonnewland.com. But now I just say jasonnewland.com, because I'm hoping that, well, generally we don't need to, if you put jasonnewland.com, it should just come up, I think. So what shall I talk about today? Right, let me think. What's been on my mind? So I've been singing songs on an app called Star Maker. You might notice that the more I talk, the more relaxed your body feels. And the more I drone on and on and on about stuff that's of no relevance to your life or any interest, you'll just find your mind kind of wanders a bit, you know. You know that in the same way that you got someone in front of you and they're talking. Maybe you're at a party and you're hoping to meet someone. Maybe you're at a party, you're hoping to meet a nice lady or a nice man. maybe a new friend, or maybe something more. But instead of that happening, you end up with somebody who you don't particularly want to talk to, not in a rude way, but you're not really there for that, but they decide to talk to you for hours and hours, and they just want to talk and tell you everything about their carpet cleaning hobby, if there's such a thing. Yeah, as an example, maybe someone collects door knockers, and maybe, especially now with mobile phones, you can actually, instead of carrying around door knockers with you in a trailer, because that's a lot of work, isn't it? If your intention is to bore people with your hobby. Mobile phone. Oh, by the way, if you're in America, I know you call them mobiles or cells, but that's wrong. They're called mobile phones. So that person's there talking to you, and this, not only are they talking to you about these door knockers that they collect, they also show you pictures of those door knockers, one after another, then the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one. You may think, well, if you're saying one after another, surely maybe the third should be next, not second, but it doesn't really matter. That's just me coughing. Have a drink. So that's kind of what this is about. It's kind of being cornered at a party by someone that you just don't want to talk to. Not, as I say, it doesn't have to be in a cruel or rude way. You just don't gel with them, or you're not interested in that particular conversation at that particular time. It's not always the right time to hear about the mating patterns of the Brazilian butterflies. It's not everybody wants to hear about that stuff. For me, an equivalent would be someone having just had a baby and wanting to show pictures of their baby. And I've seen pictures of babies before, and there's not a lot of difference between them. They're all they look like babies. I look forward to one day if someone says, "Oh, look at my baby," and it looks like a giraffe, or looks like a big spider, or it's like if there was something a bit like really big ears flapping, then that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting baby to look at. But of course, that wouldn't be a picture of it flapping. That'd be more of an MPEG, I guess. Something like a little video, I suppose. So that's what I mean. When someone's comes back from holiday and they want to show you pictures of their holiday, and here's another picture of the beach, and here's a picture of the first meal we had in the hotel 2.5 hours after we arrived. We unpacked, and Bobby had a shower because his His arse was sweaty, and then we came down, had a dinner. It was very nice. That's the first dinner. Now here's the bed. Here's a picture of the bed. The picture of the bed when we got to the hotel, and here's a picture of the bed just before we actually got into the bed. As you can see, one side is of the, the cover is folded over as I was ready to get in. Here's the toilet. It's a picture of the toilet. And it goes on and on, this. Oh, here's another picture of the beach. Here's a picture of a beach with a different seagull. Here's a picture of the sky. Here's a picture of the sky with a cloud formation that looks just like a tampon. Maybe worse than that would be people coming, for a wedding. Maybe, having gone to a wedding and afterwards, maybe a week or two later, after the honeymoon, come back and say, oh, we got the pictures back from the wedding. Do you want to see them? No. But really don't want to see them. I don't want my toenails varnished. And I don't want to put my hand into a public toilet. I don't want to see the wedding pictures. I don't want to milk a cow. There's just certain things, nothing against cows or their milky parts. It's not something that I really want to talk about or hear or see pictures of. But don't you want to see pictures of the wedding though? Pictures of the wedding, it's our wedding, it's our special day. I said, I was there. I know what happened. I was there. It's like, going to see the Titanic, the movie The Titanic. Why? You know what happens. You know what the ending is. That's why I don't watch war movies. I know what the end was. There's no surprise ending ever. If Titanic had Moby Dick dressed as a clown popping up and singing some kind of ballad, then playing a banjo, then I would watch it. Maybe it could be a Rod Stewart song. I am sailing, I am sailing. You might hear Andre in the background crinkling along, doing his thing. So that's what this is about anyway. It's about being bored. It's all not just about being bored, but it's also knowing that nothing that I say during these sessions is of any consequence really to the world. If I say something and if you fall asleep, don't worry about having missed anything, because you really haven't. In the same way, when you're looking through someone's photograph album of their wedding, you don't worry that maybe you've missed a photograph. Oh, but what about that photograph of your uncle's best friend that I've never seen before and will never see again? Perhaps I can see that picture of him and you and their family that you took during the wedding, and maybe you can name all those people to me. No. So let me tell you about my singing, now that I've explained what my singing story is going to be about. Well, first of all, I started using this app called Star Maker, and I used the iPhone and I used the microphone that comes into the iPhone, the lightning thing, and using that, it sounds fairly good, and the playback is quite good if you use the app. That's kind of the whole story, really, but I will meet it out. I will flesh it out. I will add stuff, add some random words to this trifle of nonsense. So I started singing when I was about 7, I suppose, 7 or 8. In my memory, that's as far back as I can remember that I started singing. And I remember I used to walk around the field at school singing Sandy from Greece and Hopelessly Devoted to You from Greece. And then, you know, as I moved on, I used to walk around the field at, you know, various schools I went to. All of the different schools that I recall, I used to walk around the field singing. And sometimes it was Adam and the Ants, Stand and Deliver. Or perhaps it was Madness, It Must Be Love, Baggy Trousers. Maybe at times, I'm trying to think who else there was. There's a lot, just any of the bands. I mean, my favourite singer when I was young was, who was it? Shakin' Stevens. And I don't know what it was. I think it was maybe because he was, I don't know, maybe kind of an English Elvis, apart from the fact that he was from Northern Ireland and he didn't sing like Elvis, but he did have the, or was he Scottish or Welsh? He was from somewhere, but he had the quiff, you know, like the Elvis quiff, and he used to wear denim jackets and jeans, and I loved him. I absolutely loved him completely. He's my favourite singer. And that's it. He had so many different songs. Some of the most famous ones, like Behind the Green Door, It's Raining. Also, I don't know obviously what country you're listening to this from, but in England, every Christmas we have a set bunch of songs that are played constantly on the radio, in shops, retail, you know, places, and they're all continuously played, or at maybe Christmas parties. So some of the obvious ones would be, let's have a look, Boney M, When a Child Is, was it Boney M? When a Child Is Born, I don't know, or Brown Eyed Girl, something like that. Brown Girl in the Rain, la 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 la. Then there's Wham's Last Christmas, and last year really was Wham's Last Christmas. It's quite weird, that was. But that's one of my favourite songs. And Shakin' Stevens has got one of those songs, Merry Christmas Everyone, and that's played constantly. But again, you may not have heard of him. But if you haven't heard of Shakin' Stevens, if you just Google, or actually go on YouTube, probably better. Go on YouTube and put in Shakin' Stevens, and one of my favourite songs would be It's Raining. Because it's more of a like ballad. It's quite a quite a sad ballad. A sad ballad. Salad. And I don't know, I feel, by the way, I've got my eyes closed a lot of times because this light's shining in my eyes and I haven't got my glasses. I'm getting new glasses and they're going to be Actolite, so that when there's light shining on, they will go a little bit darker so that I don't get the eye strain, which is good because I've got macro degeneration thing in my genetics, so I need to look after my eyes a bit better than I have done. So yeah. So Merry Christmas Everyone was one of his, that's probably his biggest, it's probably his biggest hit, because it was a number one, it was at Christmas, and it's played every single year, so technically it's probably his biggest hit. But he was the biggest, I think he was the biggest UK act during the 80s, was Shakin' Stevens. So yeah, he was brilliant. He was a big star. He had loads of hits. Shirley, You Drive Me Crazy. Oh, that's one of my favourites. You Drive Me Crazy. Or You Drive Me Crazy. More crazy. It's like crazy. What other ones? Shirley. There's Behind the Green Door, like I said. It's Raining. There's just so many. It's a bit like the Beatles, you know, it's just so many songs that they made. I suppose my real favourite was Elvis, but because I wasn't even 7, I was still 6 when Elvis was no more. So I guess I used to hear his songs, but I was too young to really appreciate him in his lifetime. But I definitely learned to appreciate him in my lifetime. And big fan of Elvis. Not as much as my brother though. He was absolutely fanatical about Elvis and had loads of Elvis Presley. This is not Elvis Jordan, in case you're wondering which Elvis. There are a few Elvises, not many, but there was a few, like Elvis Costello. He did Oliver's Army, which is a great song. But I don't think Elvis was his real name. I do wonder how many people were actually called Elvis, like in the world. I mean, I've never met anybody that's actually called Elvis. And maybe the reason why people don't call their children Elvis is it's a lot to live up to, isn't it? It's like the most famous singer in the history of music, basically, in the Western world anyway. Sort of in history. I mean, not the most famous now, because I suppose Justin Bieber, I don't know, whoever. Justin Bieber. I really liked Justin Bieber's first song. It was about 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, isn't it? Really liked it. I think it was about 15, maybe it was younger. And saw him on telly, and it's such a really catchy tune. It was good. So yeah, I used to sing, and I wrote my first song when I was about 8 years old. And me and my family had gone on a camping trip. And we stayed in a caravan park for one night. I think we were just travelling through, maybe to Wales or on the way back, or I don't recall really. But I met a girl that I liked called Mandy, and I guess she was probably the same kind of age as me. I played with her for a few hours. I think probably there for one night or 2 nights. And so I met her, and then she left the night after, the next morning or the next afternoon. I really liked her, and I remember waving to her as she was leaving, and I suppose really I kind of fell in love with her. So I wrote a song, and I called it Mandy, because it's really weird. I actually still remember the lyrics to this song. So I'll tell you the lyrics. I have kind of told people this in the past on my Jason chats, but most of those have been deleted. So the lyrics, I think, was something, I won't sing it, because if you've drifted off, then you don't really need me to start belting out some kind of love ballad of an 8-year-old. That would be strange. So it's Mandy, listen to me. Mandy, I want you to see. Mandy, I want you to hear. I don't want a single tear. I love you, Mandy. Mandy, I do. I just want to know. If you love me too. Just say something. I want to know. Just say something. Like, hello. Oh, Mandy. I love you. I actually wrote another song. I wrote a few songs during that time, all the way up to probably the age of 15, 16, 15. So for quite a few years I'd write songs. I could play instruments. I did learn to play the violin and the drums and the bugle and the glockenspiel. But it's quite hard to sing along to a violin. I don't might sound a bit strange, or to a drum, or to a glockenspiel. You know, it doesn't. Those weren't really the instruments that would have been perhaps the best accompaniment. I don't think I've ever seen anybody sing, you know, like a street performer, singing along and accompany themselves with a violin. I imagine opera and stuff, but just someone just singing a busker with a violin, singing a pop song. Maybe that should be Justin Bieber's next step. A violin, singing and playing the violin at the same time. So before I go, if I can recall it, I'll give you the song. I'll give you the lyrics to another song I wrote, and it was this girl when I was at school. I was probably 15, 14, and I fell in love with this girl, and her name was Sarah, and the song is called Sarah. So here we go, if I can remember it. Sarah baby, listen to me. Sarah baby, I want you to no, sorry, it wasn't that. I was just going to do the whole Mandy song with Sarah, but I won't. Okay, so I couldn't keep a straight face for that one. So the Sarah song is: Dear Sarah, how do you do? Hope you're missing me the way that I'm missing you. Do you think about me in your sleep? If you do, think about out what it means. Feelings are not always shown during the day, but when you go to sleep, all your worries drift away. And then your feelings start to arise, showing you something that you didn't realize. In the kind of chorus, this is a chorus: I love you. Sarah, you know I do. There's nothing that I can do. This feeling is uncontrollable. I love you. Sarah, I love you. So thank you for sharing this wonderful evening with me. And those song lyrics are copyrighted, so please don't record them and make millions and millions of dollars. Or if you do, please chuck me some money, because I ain't got none. So thank you very much for listening. You can watch this video on YouTube, you can watch it on my website, jasonnewland.com or woo.jasonnewland.com. SoundCloud, you can listen to this, Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify. I'm everywhere. Not everywhere, I'm not everywhere, I'm here, but you know, quite easy to find online. Thank you very much. Bye.